MOU and making universities social forum. Therefore, there is a trend of doing MOU between two institutions. We are here making MOU among 5 universities of Nepal. In this regard, at first, I would like to invite our respective vice chancellors as well as registrars to take place in the dash of this MOU ceremony. In this regard, I'd like to call respected vice chancellor Professor Amraj Panda sir to take place in the dash. Similarly, I'd like to request respected Professor Dhruvan Gokum sir, vice chancellor Midwestern University. Similarly, I'd like to invite our respected Madam Professor Dr. Shiluman Bhattacharya, Vice Chancellor of Nepal Open University, to take place in the dash. Similarly, I'd like to invite Professor Dr. Biju Thapalia sir, Vice Chancellor of Purvanchal University. Similarly, I'd like to request Professor Dr. Vinod Prasad Thakal sir, Vice Chancellor of Lumbini Technical University. Likewise, I would like to invite all the registrars of the respective university, Professor Eknath Pathak sir, registrar of Pakistan University, Professor Sobhagar Padel sir, registrar Midwestern University, Professor Dr. Govinda Mr. sir, registrar Nepal Open University. Similarly, Nilmani Patel sir, registrar of Midwestern University, and Mr. Dek Bahadur Bhandari sir, registrar of Lumbini Technical University. Before signing formally on the agreement, I would like to pronounce the content of our agreement. Far Western University, Midwestern University, Nepal Open University, Purvanchal University, Lumbini Technology University. This memorandum of understanding is made among the above mentioned universities of Nepal to promote academic and research collaborations. The university agrees to cooperate based on equality and mutual benefit in the following areas. Number first, joint teaching and research initiatives, particularly in postgraduate programs, development and implementation of interdisciplinary research program, exchange of faculty, staff, and researchers for academic and professional development, student exchange, conducting joint degree program, sharing learning resources, publication and information, organizing joint and collaborative research projects, and hosting academic meetings and conferences. The term of mutual assistance, financial responsibilities, and related activities of program to be implemented following this MOU will be mutually discussed and agreed upon in writing by the parties period session. This MOE may be modified through mutual discussion and the written consent of the parties. These are brief paragraphs of this MOU. After this, I'd like to request to make a formal signature on this agreement and stamp the seal of the university. I'd like to respected VC sir, VC madam, and we expect support from the official staffs of this university to arrange for stamps. As I already told, this is a historical moment for us. Such large number of universities has being together. This is a very useful in terms of running the postgraduate and research degree programs, and to fulfill some requirement of some grants projects. For example, the NREN project of the UGC requires such types of collaboration and agreement between universities of nation and international sphere. Similarly, we are running MPhil and PhD program, and there are sometimes a shortage of highly expert teacher. We can use the expertise of the professor from the different universities. Therefore, this is a very important and very historical for us.
Actually, we have the theme itself talks about what we want to deliver from this event. But in short, the objective of this theme is to analyze the current landscape of innovation and development, foster multidisciplinary dialogues, explore the role of heritage in innovation, identify future direction and policy recommendation, promote global and regional cooperation, encourage practical solutions for sustainable growth. The discussion aims to generate valuable insights, inspires collaborative efforts, and outline strategic directions for future innovation and development initiatives. Before going to start our discussions, I would like to share the short biography about all the moderator as well as the panelists. We have the moderator Deepak Gyamali, as I have already requested him for his seat. He is the Pragya academician, Nepal Academy of Science and Technology, NAST, Chair of Interdisciplinary Analysis, former Minister of Water Resource of Nepal, former Chair, Nepal Water Conservation Foundation. Deepak Gyamali started out as a physicist at St. Xavier College, Bombay, and become a hydroelectric power engineer, Moscow Energy Institute, USSR, and a political economist studying natural resources, energy and resources group, UC, USA. He began his early career as civil servant in the Ministry of Water Resources, but since 1987 has been an independent academic deeply involved in socio-environmental studies of development. His research focuses on the interface between technology and society as related to water, energy, and resources use issues from the perspective of cultural theory. He was chair of the non-profit Nepal Water Conservation Foundation till 2018, and in the 1990s of the poverty elevation focused NGO Rural Self-Reliance Development Center. He chaired the Nepal's first liberal art college, Nepal School of Social Science, between 2010 to 2014. He has a long experiences in these development sectors, so I might stop here for his brief introductions. Likewise, we have the panelists. Right. Panelist Bimal Chandra Srivastava. Dr. Bimal Chandra Srivastava obtained his MTech and doctoral degree in chemical engineering from IIT Roorkee in the year 2003 and 2006 respectively. Prior to his appointment as IIT Roorkee in 2007, Dr. Srivastava served as IIT BHU, Banarasi, India. His major research interests are chemical and environmental engineering, alternative fuels, wastewater treatment, and many more. Likewise, we have other panelists, Dr. Tara Joshi, Honorable Member of Assembly, Sudur Paschim Province, Nepal. Dr. Tara Joshi is a distinguished political leader and governance expert, currently serving as a member of the Province Assembly in Sudur Paschim Province. Nepal. With a strong academic background, he holds PhD in international relations with a focus on Russia from Jawaharlal Nehru University, JNU. He completed his graduate studies in political science from Kumar University, India. Dr. Joshi has extensive experience in governance, development, and policymaking. His long-lasting engagement in Nepalese politics and development initiative has contributed significantly to regional and national progress. Likewise, another panelist, Dr. Deepak Prakash Bhatt, is former Honorable Member of Parliament, Nepal. Dr. Deepak Prakash Bhatt holds a PhD from the School of International Studies, JNU. He is a former member of Federal Parliament from Kanchanpur. He served as a member of Technical Committee, Secretariat of Committee for the Supervision, Integration and Rehabilitations of Master Army Combats from 2009 to 2012, headed by Prime Minister. He is a visiting faculty at the Department of International Relations and Diplomacy, Tribhuvan University, and Higher Command and Management course, Nepal Army War College, Nagarpur. He has participated in the Advanced Security Cooperation course at Asia Pacific Center for Strategic Studies, Hawaii. Study of the United States Foreign Policy at Bard College, New York, and Nepal Government Security and Justice course at University of Birmingham. Likewise, another panelist, Mr. Bharat Bahadur Joshi. Bharat Bahadur Joshi, Badayan Joshi was born on December 29, 1992. He is the mayor of Parsuram municipality, Jodhpur, Dhanadra. He holds the master degree in atmospheric physics and atmospheric environment from the Institute of Tibetan Plateau Research, University of Chinese Academy of Science. An active researcher, Joshi has contributed significantly to his field with a dozen of publications to his credit beyond academia. He has been actively engaged in public service and youth leadership. Prior to his mayoral tenure, Joshi played a keynote in youth organization. He was in the General Secretary of the Association of Youth Organization, Nepal. With a strong background in environmental science and leadership, Joshi continued to contribute to both governance and research, working toward the sustainable development and community welfare in Nepal. Likewise, another distinguished panelist is Dr. Gunakar Bhatt. Dr. Gunakar Bhatt is an executive director at Nepal Rashtra Bank. He holds an MBA with gold medal with Tribhuvan University, Nepal, master degree in economics from USA. He has spent almost 25 years at the Nepal Rashtra Bank, where he has headed economic research department, banks and financial institutions regulations department, bank supervision department, payment system department, and public debt management department. He also served as a spokesperson of the bank for more than 4 years. Dr. Bhatta has served as an economic advisor and a member of Revenue Advisory Board to the Ministry of Finance, Government of Nepal. Currently, he is also the chairman of the Karja Susana Kendra Limited, the credit registry of the country. Similarly, we have another distinguished panelist, Professor Dr. Prem Narayan Aryal. Professor Dr. Prem Narayan Aryal is a distinguished academician and a former Vice Chancellor of Pokhara University. He has served as a Senate member at Nepal Open University and several universities, including Far Western University, Rajashree Danak University, Purvanchal University, and NAS. He was a member of the High Level Education Commission, Planning Council of Tribhuvan University, and the National Development Council. Dr. Aryal has also held the key leadership role, including chairman of the faculty board at Purvanchal University, chairperson of the Higher Education Development Cooperative Limited, and founder campus chief of Kathmandu Shiksha Campus. His contributions to policy making, higher education, governance, and institute development have been instrumental in shaping the Nepal academic landscape. Thank you all for your time, valuable time, and for supporting the open discussions. I would like to request Dr. Madan Devka sir, and then I hand over this mic to Dr. Deepak Gyawali for further discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hazurul Sabir Jai Host, everyone. How this panel will be conducted is as follows. I'll give a short introduction to the theme and the topic. Then I'm going to go to each one of the panelists I'll pose a question. They're free to say what they want on the topic. But my point, my job as a moderator, which is the wrong name actually. I'm not a moderator, I'm a charcorator. So my point is to provoke you, with certain questions. Now you can answer them, you can ignore them, but the audience will be expecting some answer from you on that, okay? And then we'll go to the audience after we finish with our 6 panelists. 5 minutes, roughly. I think whatever needs to be said, you can say in that period. And then we'll have questions from the audience. I'll take 3 questions and come back to the panel. You can say whom you address the question to, or if it's a general question, I'll see who wants to answer that. And then go to the second round, another 3 rounds of questions, and see how we go after that, how much time we have. So without much ado, innovation, it's very interesting. I know we often confuse innovation with technical innovation. The iPhones, iPads, and all these very sexy things now. The trouble is, very sensible innovations never take off. Ropeway, a very mountain-friendly and climate-friendly technology introduced 100 years ago. We're celebrating the 100th anniversary this year. Means only a couple of us are celebrating. Nobody knows about it. It's completely ignored. It's a technology that should have taken off. Why? So you find out very quickly that innovation entails not just technical, clever engineering. It also involves managerial innovation, government rules, regulations, policies. It also involves very strong behavioral innovation, that society should be able to value it and push it forward. Without that, very clever technical gadgets just fall by the wayside. I give you 2 examples from my own field. Hydropower. We are now in a very critical stage in Nepal where we have a plethora of run-of-river hydropower projects producing too much electricity during the monsoon when there is flood, and their capacity coming down to just about only a third, leading to either load shedding or import a massive amount of electricity from India. It's a very unsustainable thing. However, innovation here, and this is what we are advocating, of not developing hydropower the conventional way, but developing hydropower as pump storage hydro married to solar photovoltaic. Because solar photovoltaic has become much cheaper than hydropower per unit electricity cost. That's one example. Another example I'd like to draw from south part of India in Bangalore. There's a wonderful organization there called A-Tree. And I was there in their anniversary to give a keynote speech. Just before me, a bunch of young researchers in that organization made a fantastic presentation. The big problem all over South Asia is pollution of rivers by industrial waste. And industrial waste is worse than household waste. Household waste is organic. But industrial waste is highly toxic chemicals. Now, what do you do with that? What these guys have done is a fantastic action research where they had collected the very toxic industrial wastewater, and rather than having it dumped, it's very difficult, impossible to recycle, okay, and clean, it's too expensive. Instead of dumping it into a river and polluting rivers and lakes, they collected that in tankers and went around road construction sites where cement mixing water was required for. So this very toxic water was used for cement mixing, which meant that the highly toxic pollutants were locked up in rock for the next 100 years. That's very innovative. Now, this is what is the 2 examples. Now, to have proper innovation, we have to ask what are the problems we are trying to solve. So in today's Nepal, for instance, the problem to be solved is decline in rural life. Not just that there are no people there, they're all migrating out to the Gulf or wherever, but that there's commensurate decline in agriculture that leads Nepal to even import garlic and dhania. It's an unsustainable thing. So where do we do innovation in this? And that, tied to what I call Trump Tandav, means that globalization is ended. Whatever we heard the last 30, 40, 50 years of globalization is gone. Modi says, make in India. Now Trump is saying, make in America. Chinese are, of course, making in China. So this whole idea of globalization that was Found it is practically dead. What does that mean? It means your local production is going to matter. Countries that can make strong local production with low carbon footprint, we don't have to transport things across the ocean and strawberries from Costa Rica. We get in Kathmandu way. Amazing. Imagine how much carbon it has burned flying all the way from Costa Rica. So this has to be addressed with local issues of reduction in carbon footprint and everything else. Now, I'll close by mentioning that, innovation, we suddenly like to think it's a very, very, very nice word. It's a glorified word. But Rex Tillerson, who was the chairman of Exxon and who Trump in his first term made US Secretary of State, is famous, or depending on how we look at it, notorious for speaking against innovation as chairman of Exxon, not as Secretary of State US. What he said was very interesting. Successful companies don't innovate. Innovation is too disruptive of the production cycle. What successful companies do is they exnovate. So what is exnovation? Exnovation is to continue working with the tried and tested without rocking the boat too much. So, with these sort of introductory ideas, I want to go back to the panel. I'll first start with Revarel, sir. You're the senior most, and you've been in education in just about every different places around in Nepal. My provocation to you is this. Rabindranath Tagore was a school dropout, but he went on to found one of the most educational places in India, the Shantiniketan. How can Nepal's universities, 5 of which have signed an agreement just now, how can they produce a Shantiniketan in Nepal? Sir, floor is yours, 5 minutes, please. Mike, sir, like this.
Thank you, Dipeksha, and all intellectual and dignitaries. First of all, I would like to introduce innovation. Innovation is not only change. First of all, I would like to say we started teaching from chalk and talk method. Chalk and talk. But now we have innovated different instruments and different way of delivering ideas. But is there any change in student behavior? Is there any change in student activities of doing or doing differently? I think then we started our teaching through the presentation of slides. It means it has made the teacher very lazy, student very lazy. They are just observing the slide. Teachers are always presenting slide and slide, all these things. Why? Let's create, not only introducing new techniques is innovation. Innovation should have the impact of our children's mind, their ability to do things, their ability to understand, and their ability to adopt all things, good things from our society and change its ideas into the practical classroom situation. And I think, yes, in one research, it is been said that nearly 70% of our students are not confident in their learning. Can I be a doctor? After being a real doctor, can I do what a good doctor can do like this? It means that they do not have practical experience. So innovation should be initiated through intensive and the practical work and social work. I think in this way. And it will help our students and society grow and develop new institutions, just like Rabindranath Tagore and the good educationists of the universe. Okay, they have been reduced. Even they are failed. Some scientists are failed. They could not join and continue their study in regular schools. But they introduced something good for the nation, for the universe. It means that their mind should be creative, dynamic, and in this sense, we can use our technology to invent new things and to make them active and their dynamic role. In this way, yes, I think innovation is important in the sense that we can have blended classroom. Okay, and also we can have also just project-based learning. We just give lecture and lecture and lecture. Teachers are tired of lecturing. Students are tired of listening. How can they develop their knowledge? Let's just we have an NDS program before we have joined that NDS program. Then we have visited different schools and we had practical knowledge at that time. But now, just see about the practice, teaching practice. Our students go 45 days to schools and copy lesson plans and they complete their teaching practice as a formality. Why? Why we involve them in teaching and give them full-time job? So why not make them in turn to learn something? So yes, educate. Yes, educational technology should be used properly. Yes, to manage, to introduce learning management system. Learning management system is not only listening and copying and writing. And the assessment system is so for that they write in the examination for 3 hours, but we do not evaluate their practical experience, their intensive, and their doing their practical knowledge. And why? Always writing 3 hours of writing and fail and pass. Why? Can't we give them the opportunity to work, listen, project work, assignment, and observation, all these things? So, and it is very important. And our students are very fast in videotape, TikTok making, all these things. They can observe, they can collect materials from the world scenario. We are lazy, we cannot do it. But they are far more ahead than us in learning something. We have to guide them properly so that they can collect, they can communicate, they can share, and they can evaluate. Okay? I think this type of project will make our students more lively and they will learn and they will create learning environment. They will communicate, they will judge their own feeling and share their commitment to their friends. I think it is enough, I think so. And we can develop new innovation in our classroom. Let's change our classroom. Changing our classroom means is not, doesn't mean that changing the space. The only style of changing, making them learn, making them adopt in society, making them and work in our university. Just we invite university permanent teachers and service commissions, and we send out teachers without training to them. Just we send them to the class, go to the class and teach whatever you like to teach. This way, we should have practical experience and we can innovate new schools of thought and new system of learning. Thank you so much. I think it is enough.
Yeah, yes, we'll come back again to some of these ideas. I think, you made a wonderful point, two very basic points, that I take. One is lectures. We should do away with lectures that are death by PowerPoint. That's the first one. And the second one is that we should focus more on, for students, internship and practical social work. And that way they'll probably be closer to reality and closer to problem solving, where innovation has ultimately is born of. I'm going to the second panelist, Vimal Srivastava sir. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but from my knowledge of water resources, I understand that Roorkee College was set up way back by Lord Dalhousie, basically to build, produce technologists to build the Ganga barrage in Rajasthan. Okay. Since then, this has become India's premier technical institute. We heard from you this morning. But I believe, from what I heard this morning also, that the big challenge you have is to move away from Lord Dalhousie, to a post-Modi world where you are, this institution really comes from some very traditional understanding of what South Asian society is and is able to provide those innovative solutions for water, energy, housing, urban development, you name it, for South Asia. How are you managing that and how do you see that future that will incubate new kind of socially relevant innovation?
Thank you so much for inviting us first. So you are very correct. We are very old and we have been adapting a lot. Innovation, there is a slight difference that since students are here and many a times they will, in India, we have a term which is called as jugaad. Okay.
Yes.
So innovation is not
We have
jugaad.
profit loss.
Okay, innovation is not jugaad, first thing. Jugaad is like a short-term, something which can be done for 2 days, 5 days, I'm moving from here to there, there's some problem, and so it's a lack of resources is first thing. And second thing is that we don't, it's not like a long-term solution. Innovation requires resources, first thing, at least in the technical level, what Sir has asked. And then the solutions are also long term. Now, at IIT Roorkee, since we have been adapting, somehow we are lacking on innovation part. If you ask me 6 years down the lane, and we started thinking, and now we have come to a stage where we are within top 3 institutions in respect to patent filing and transformation. And we are roughly filing 2 patents every 3 days. The number is 250 per year. And now the translational transforming a patent into a proper to industry or otherwise, it is roughly happening 15 days, not to a state. Now what we did, so we did lot of changes for that. First thing, certainly what Sir was saying, teaching in a classroom, igniting the minds is more important as compared to teaching what is there already in the book. Okay, so forcing them to teach the book maybe via assignments and other things, but igniting the mind during the classroom so that they learn that by themselves because they are better than us. Believe me, the new generation is better than us in terms of learning. So we have to give them, ignite them that what will be required, and then they will do. In between, we did lot of changes in our system, and like a few of the changes I'm highlighting, but not in a order. Like for PhD, what we did is that in place of paper, a patent is also considered as okay. So if you file a patent, patent will be considered as equivalent to a paper, and you can submit paper PhD thesis in place of via patent filing. Second thing is that for our students, now they can, in BTech project in engineering, we have BTech project for 1 year. Now they can have a startup, they can work in the startup in place of a BTech project. Certainly it will be like monitored or maybe mentored by a faculty. So this is another thing. A third thing, now we are allowing our students a very flexible curriculum so that they can go to an institute up to a 1 year, they can plan and there's absolutely no problem. They can go to industry, they can go to foreign university, they can work in a startup for 1 year and they can earn credit for that. So this is now for faculty what we did, because there are 2 basic things. One is for student and one for faculty. Faculty, we are doing research and we are doing up to a TRL 2-3 level of work in our labs. Now we have a system that if the faculty wants, they can get some money up to 15 lakh Indian currency from our institute, transforming their TRL level 3 or 4 to 6 and 7. And from 7 industry pick up, they don't pick up from 3. Okay, so they want something to happen at a larger scale and then we can do. Another thing we did is that now faculty can have a startup for them. Though it's very difficult to compete with the student, but the student and faculty can come together to have a startup, and we are allowing absolutely, if you want, earn via a startup, there is no problem. You can earn your salary and earn via your startup also. So that, these are the things we build up. There are many other final lines we did in the institute, like we organize lot of startup, there is a lot of industrial lectures which are happening. There are many things which actually infuse in students to work. At the government level also, the government also did, like we have 3 incubators in the institute now. So they can actually fund a startup for the faculty as well as for the students. So these are many things that we did, and we are trying to work since, and in many departments, minor things also we are doing. Like we are identifying which department is not doing. So there is an associate dean which is going to that department and telling, see, within your department, you have published the paper like this, but this would have been a good patent. And so this way also we are trying to go to individual level and trying to help them in the patent filing. Then we had a examiner, not examiner. We do like I'm a faculty, so I'm telling you, writing a patent is easier than paper. Okay, but initial stages it is very difficult if you haven't done earlier. Okay, so that type of workshops we did, and now this, like if I had done, I'm filing a patent, I don't need to write up. There is a person who can write for me. Okay, so we have hired agencies for that. So this way we are able to do, and the innovation, observation, learning, but the foremost thing is the students. They should start having observations, they start thinking innovation, and then the infrastructure is there for the second issue. So these are the changes that we have done at the institute.
Yeah, great, thank you. You know, you will continue to be a leader in the field, whether in South Asia, and we'll all look up to you to see the solutions. Thank you. I'm coming to Bharat Joshi, your mayor. But I think, more important to me is you're a climate scientist. That's what your original background was in atmospheric physics. COP27 finally admitted that the climate problem is really a water problem. Climate change was created by the energy sector, burning too much fossil fuel, but the impact to society is solely through the water sector. Too much water, too little water, water at the wrong place, wrong time, etc., etc. Now, as a mayor, I think one of your biggest problem is water supply. It's every day I think you're harassed by consumers, and climate change is making things worse. What are the innovations that you see that a local body in Nepal, which is where the real water problem has to be solved? It doesn't help solving transboundary water problems. You won't get your drinking water to that girl in the school playing, volleyball, that needs the water. So how do you suggest that these innovative approaches be taken so that local bodies can find their own innovative solutions to water problems? Yes.
So thanks, sir. First of all, I would like to thank Professor Dr. Hemraj Pant, the VC of this Forestry University, and his entire team for organizing such a fantastic and historic scientific conference in the forest region. So, first of all, I'm going to start from brief about the climate science. So, my first statement is climate change is real. There is no doubt that climate change is real, but in the context of Nepal, the researchers, the professors, and the research institutions are only serious about this climate change. So, being the mayor, being the representative of ground level people, still the people in the ground level are not serious about this issue. Not only the real ground level people, but also in the context of Nepal, the politicians and especially the policy makers are also not serious about this issue. So I'm giving the example. So the people are not serious about the climate change, and nowadays the forecasting are improving. They are being reliable in Nepal, but still people ignore the forecast, which is still one of the major reason behind the human casualties and many losses. And one of the example of this case that the recent incident that occurred in the Kathmandu Valley in the last monsoon. So also the recent studies in Nepal have shown that the temperature is increasing yearly, and the drought also are increasing. And these events are continuing in the coming years too. So the one of the scientific studies also finds that the warming trend in Nepal, this is one of the serious issues, is about 0.02 to 0.06 per year over Nepal. So in the past years, the rainfall mainly increasing, but that is increasing only in the monsoon region. And the trend of water rainfall is decreasing in the winter monsoon, so winter region. So that is increasing the drought. So we have to take that issues very seriously. Also, being the mayor of Patna municipalities, so we have done a lot of work. We have taken a lot of initiatives in our government. Especially one of the beauty of local government is they have constructed road in every village. They connected every household by roads. But there is a one black spot in that beauty. They have exhibited the road in an unplanned way. Even there are 2 or 3 roads for a single village in the rural areas. So that is also one of the cause of landslide, floods, and the water scarcity in our areas. So one of the initiatives that we have taken in my municipality is, so we have completely stopped the excavation of new roads. So our plan is to just making those roads better each year, every year. So this is one of the reasons. Also, we did a survey this year. So we have conducted every household survey and make a server called that's a server. So that and that server is connected with the real time forecasting of DSM, and that can release the information of real time information of flood and precipitation, so that we can give the real time information of flood and landslide to every household, to every people through the messages and IVR calls. So we have also prepared that system in our municipality too. So being regarding your questions, first of all, one of the initiatives that is taken by our municipality there is that we have to completely stop the excavation of new roads, and we have given priorities in the plantation program. So last year we have planted around 20,000 new plant in the Suri area, and this year we are preparing to plant around 1 lakh new trees in that region. Also, one of the major challenge of my municipality is that we are we like our line lies in the Suri region. So around 70% of my geography lies in the Suri region, and also my municipality around 84% of my municipality is covered by the forest. So forest fire and the fragile land of Turi region are also the biggest challenge of my municipalities. So in the case of drinking water, the big project that were constituted by previous government now are suffering from the shortage of water in that project. So those projects also were constructed randomly. So now we are doing a study. We are doing a scientific research study so that we can find that whether that that water resource that can uh, supply the water at least for 50 years or not. So we are doing study in that region, and only after that we can continue the drinking water project in that area. So that is also our municipality strategy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think we'll all go back with this thing you mentioned, strong action you've taken against what is called bulldozer atanka, bulldozer terrorism. It's causing floods, not just landslides of there, floods in the Tarai, all because of the riverbed aggregation that's happening with all these landslides. But I'm now going to move to your other colleague, political colleague here, Tara Joshi ji. From what he's just said, it's those are Atanka roads are bad, but then you have to provide innovative alternative solutions to to the public, right? And you can't say, carry all your body on your back, they won't have anything. Why is it that alternative innovative technologies like ropeways, like I mentioned, Chandra Samsher brought it 100 years ago. Why is it that the political system has only translated development as the word? Why can't it come to alternative things like ropeways, which is much cheaper, much better, no landslide, nothing. So the question is to you is, what hinders innovation in such creative ways in the Far West? Far West has been the most neglected area of the Nepali state over the last century. But now, from what I am seeing with what your universities and others are doing, I think you're doing a far better job than our central universities in Kathmandu.
With the thunder that no, and climate pact no. So such things are coming. USA no. Many things are on the process. So one way the globalization is as seen as led by the West in the last 400 years. Before that, Indian economy and the Chinese economy was dominating the world economy by 60% plus. For a long period, it was like that. But again, the 18th century, or these two global economies or the global powers are on the same verse. And at that moment, we are talking about the local, our kind of innovations, our capacity, our use, and our minds, what our minds are speaking, and what we are and where we are competing. Competing with which, if you look at the industrial revolution, since then onwards, what they have produced and why they have come out of the Europe and went around the world and they colonized the world because the production is so high and they want to looking for market and selling their goods. And the way they colonized physically and militarily with the weapons. So now that is not the case. If that is not the case, then what's happening now? And they are dominating with the idea. And the idea is all the exploitations of the natural resources and the human resources have accumulated in their mind and knowledge and the knowledge system. And the system they have developed for centuries is dominating the whole world's knowledge system and the knowledge production. And our knowledge production is, if we are tracing our knowledge production, Mahabharata, Mundu, Gita, Ramayana, likewise. And if we relate our knowledge transferring system, हाम्रो वैद्यले अर्को वैद्य चाहिँ के घरकै मान्छेलाई बनाउँछ नभए आफैसित नलेज लिएर जान्छ भन्ने माने कुन पाथ फुटेर कुन औषधि बनाउने कुराको नलेज ट्रान्सफर हामीले सोसाइटीमा हेर्यो भने लुक एट आवर ट्रान्सफरिङ द नलेज एन्ड द नलेज प्रोडक्सनको कुरा देन लास्ट इयर बेसिकली what I think that since when America became a superpower, the day it got the nuclear weapon, Oppenheimer, who led the Manhattan Project in 1942 to 45. He was 23 and he was nuclear physicist. Did his PhD at the age of 23 from Göttingen University because US universities were not at the capacity to handle his question. And then he was sent to the Niels Bohr and Heisenberg, who were teaching at the university at the time. And then he came back with what? Gita, Sanskrit, fluency in hand, and at the same time, fluency in the German, and then as a 23 years young chap. And now, where the physics, the quantum physics and the advanced physics had gone. If you remember the Steven Spielberg's movie, 2001 movie, Artificial Intelligence, he made a movie in 2001, and the novel was written in 1965. And the name of the novel is like, the Super Toys, 1965. Movie was made in 2001. And now, since last 2 or 3 years, we all are, talking about artificial intelligence, robotics, and all these things. And हामीले अब नववर्तनको कुरा गरेर हामी पनि पछ्याउन खोजिरहेको छौँ where 10 to the power minus 18 को डेफिनेसनमा लास्ट इयरको फिजिक्सको नोबेल प्राइज डिस्ट्रिब्युट भएको थियो। हामी सम्झौँ एकछिनको लागि लास्ट इयरको फिजिक्सको अगस्टो पियरेको उनीहरूको टिमले 3 जनाले नोबेल प्राइज सेयर गर्नुभएको थियो। नेपालीमै पनि कम्फर्टेबल फिल गरौँला सबैलाई। 3 जनाले नोबेल प्राइज म त्यसपछि प्रोफेसर श्रीवास्तवको उपस्थित आउँछु। उहाँले आइआइटी रुड्की 178 इयर भइसक्यो अहिले। त्यत्रो पुरानो इन्स्टिट्युसन उहाँहरू प्रत्येक दिन पेटेन्टको लागि पिएचडी दिँदै हुनुहुन्छ। हामी लास्ट इयर हेरौँ त हाम्रो लास्ट 30 इयर्स अब डेमोक्रेसीको कुरा गर्ने हो भने पञ्चायतको कुरा गरौँ अर्को 30 इयर्स यो सबैमा त्यो जेनेरेसनकै व्यक्तिहरू यहाँ हुनुहुन्छ। म त्यसरी भनिरहेको छु र अहिलेको जेनेरेसनलाई अब आश देखाउनका लागि मसित के छ त्यो मलाई आश पाउँछु। अनि त्यो 3 जनाले फिजिक्समा नोबेल पाउने र 23 को र 24 को यस वर्षको पाउनेले चाहिँ डीप लर्निङमा 1980s बाट गर्दै हुनुहुन्थ्यो प्रोफेसर। त्यसपालि 81 हैन यस वर्षको। अनि लास्ट इयरको 3 जनाले केमा गर्नु भनेको त अटो सेकेन्डमा। अनि त्यो हामी सजिलो गरी मोबाइलमा जे चिज पाइरहेको छौँ र जे नलेज स्टोर भइरहेको छ र त्यसका पछाडि कति कुरा भइरहेको छ भनेर अस्ति डिपसिक र एआईको बिचको जुन अहिले डिपसिक र च्याट जीपीटीको बिचमा जेमिनी वा क्ल्याप बोट यिनीहरूको बिचमा जो मेन अहिलेको लार्ज ल्याङ्ग्वेज मोडेलमा चाहिँ काम गरिरहेका छन् उनीहरूको कम्पेयर कहाँ भइरहेको छ भने म खालि एक्जाम्पल दिन्छु। सेकेन्ड लाइन फिजिक्सको यहाँ स्टुडेन्ट हुनुहुन्छ न्युक्लियर फिजिक्स अरू फिजिक्सहरू पनि पढिरहनु भएको छ। मैले मेरो दिमागले हेर्दा सेकेन्डलाई अटो सेकेन्डसम्म लैजानका लागि मिली सेकेन्ड माइक्रो सेकेन्ड नानो सेकेन्ड पिको सेकेन्ड 10 to the power डिभाइडेड बाई 1000 हो। सेकेन्डबाट मिली सेकेन्डमा जान 10 to the power जानु पर्यो 1000 ले डिभाइड गरेपछि त्यो आउने हो। अर्को 1000 ले डिभाइड गरेपछि मिली सेकेन्ड आउने हो। 1000 ले डिभाइड गरेपछि नानो सेकेन्ड आउने हो। अनि त्यसलाई 1000 ले डिभाइड गरेपछि फेम्टो सेकेन्ड आउने हो र त्यसलाई 1000 ले डिभाइड गरेपछि अटो सेकेन्ड आउने हो। त्यो अटो सेकेन्डमा लास्ट इयरको नोबेल प्राइज थियो र त्यसकारण उनीहरू अब कहाँ पुगे भन्ने कुरालाई ध्यान दियो र अब हाम्रो लोकल इकोनोमिक डेभलपमेन्ट नेसनल डेभलपमेन्ट एज अ फर्मर पार्लियामेन्ट 5 वर्षको मेरो संसदको कार्यकालमा मैले देखेको कुरा हामीसित लामो समयदेखि नेसनल प्लानिङ कमिसन छ। इच एन्ड एभ्री मिनिस्ट्री इज मेकिङ देयर ओन प्लानिङ। पर्यटन नीति भनेको छ, परराष्ट्र नीति भनेको छ, नेसनल सेक्युरिटी पोलिसी दुईचोटि बनिसक्यो भन्नाले अरू ठाउँमा कम भयो भने इन्टरनल सेक्युरिटी पोलिसी पनि गृह मन्त्रालयले बनाउँछ, परराष्ट्र मन्त्रालयले त्यही भइहाल्यो। यसरी अनि अर्थात् कृषि मन्त्रालयले एग्रिकल्चरको स्ट्राटेजी बनाएको छ। अर्थात् प्रत्येक मन्त्रालयले आफ्नो बनाइरहेको छ। तर प्रधानमन्त्रीको कार्यालय र नेसनल प्लानिङ कमिसनले मिलेर कोर्डिनेसन गरेर नेसनल डेभलपमेन्ट पोलिसी चाहिँ बनाएको मैले देखिनँ। द ल्याकिङ थिङ एक अर्को अब स्थानीय तहमा अघि नगर प्रमुखजीले पनि भन्नुभयो हामी उहाँहरू जसरी गरिरहनु भएको छ त्यसलाई जोडेर क्लाइमेट चेन्जको कति टट्टारो अवस्थामा हामी पुगिसक्यौँ भन्ने कुरा बिहानको सेसनहरूमा पनि हामीले सुन्यौँ। फेरि पनि आउला सेसनहरू र गाउँका गाउँ चाहिँ क्लाइमेट रिफ्युजी भएर तल निस्किरहेका छन् हिमालबाट। त्यो मनाङ बस्तानको केसहरू सुरु भइ नै सक्यो, तल आउन थालिसके। कहाँ जग्गा साफ गरेर बसाउने हामीसित अहिलेसम्म केन्द्रमा प्रदेशमा कुनै प्लानिङ बनिरहेको छैन। त्यसैले हामी कोहेरेन्ट रूपमा गभर्नेन्सको खास गरिकन करप्सनलाई रोक्ने कुरा क्लाइमेट गभर्नेन्सको कुरामा हामी जोडिँदैनौँ भने हाम्रा यी चिजहरू निकै प्रब्लम भइरहेको छ। र मैले देखेको प्लानिङमा यी लिङ्कहरू एकदमै डिलिङ भइरहेको छ। त्यस कारण इनोभेसनको लागि युथलाई मैले भन्न सक्ने कुराहरू के हो भने अमित ढकालको अस्ति मात्रै सेतो पार्टीमा एउटा स्टोरी पढिरहेको थिएँ। आइएम स्योर द्याट सम अफ यु माइट ह्याभ गन थ्रु। नेपालमा त ल यहाँ अवसर भएन रे, यो भएन रे, त्यो भएन रे, अनि सबै कुरा हाई इन्डेक्स भएको र ह्याप्पिनेसमा चाहिँ धेरै अगाडि भएको भुटानको 1 वर्षको उनीहरूको 7 लाख पपुलेसनमा 25,000ले देश छोडेर गयो भनेपछि उनीहरू पनि आपतमा छ यो छोड्ने कुरा डङ्की मुभी शाहरुख खानको हामी सबैले हेऱ्यौँ होला इन्डियाबाट कतिजना मान्छे युके युएसए र क्यानाडा जानको लागि प्रत्येक वर्ष जान्छन् भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ त्यो पनि देखिरहेको छ त्यस कारण एउटा अर्कै फिनोमिना पनि होला यसलाई रोक्नका लागि तर हामी धेरै गहिरिएर सोच्ने चाहिँ इनोभेसनका लागि म पनि टु सम एक्सटेन्ट भने कि फुल्ली एग्री विथ डाक्टर तारा जोशी भन्नु हुन्थ्यो नि इनोभेसन भन्ने कुरा भन्दा पनि हामी भएका कुराहरूलाई लोकल डेभलपमेन्टमा प्याटर्नमा ल्याउनुभन्दा बाहेक हामीसित विकल्प छैन उदाहरणको लागि कञ्चनपुर यहाँ जहाँ तपाईँहरूले बिहान पनि ब्रेकफास्टमा केरा खानुभयो होला त्यो कञ्चनपुरमै उत्पादन भएको केरा हो बनबसोबाट केरा आउनु रोकिएको 3 वर्ष हो उदाहरणको लागि भने मैले सो लाइकवाइज वनबेडामा वा अरू चिजमादेखि लिएर अरू कुराहरूमा पनि लोकली इकोनोमिक एक्टिभिटीलाई चाहिँ टार्गेट गरेर हामी गएनौँ भने ग्लोबल डेभलपमेन्टको जुन प्याटर्न मैले देखिरहेको छु त्यो प्याटर्न चाहिँ हामीलाई त्यसले बिचमा छोडिदिने वाला छ त्यस कारण हामी आफ्नै लेभलको प्रोभिन्सियल र लोकल लेभलको प्लानिङलाई बेस्ट थिङ इज टु इन्भेस्ट अन द एजुकेसन विच वी आर अब एक हिसाबले एजुकेसनमा इन्भेस्ट हाम्रो सबभन्दा बढी मन्त्रालयमा देखिन्छ तर प्रोपर तरिकाले प्राइमेरी एजुकेसनदेखि युनिभर्सिटी एजुकेसनलाई चाहिँ राम्ररी अहिले इन्भेस्ट गऱ्यौँ भने अर्को 20 वर्षपछि आउटकम आउन थाल्ने हो भन्ने मानसिकता साथ प्लानिङ गर्नुपर्छ जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ थ्याङ्क यू
Local, how do we get local production? Otherwise, we will not survive. And that's the basic message. Okay. Now, I'm coming to the last panelist, Gunakan Bhattaji for Last Bank. We've got the most difficult topic, finance. And finance is ultimately going to be one of those key factors that actually promote or hinder innovation and development. Now, I think, one big problem I'm asking you, we talked about this out-migration and all. The country is dependent on remittance. I believe the figure is 30% of our GDP is from remittance. Now, there's a saying in economics that if any sector of the economy increases to more than 12%, you enter what's called a Dutch disease impact, where, your currency overvaluation, manufacturing decline, I mean, a whole lot of things set in. And I think we are really into this Dutch disease impact with 30% GDP coming from remittance. Now, we talked about rural revitalization. That's absolutely necessary. At least glad that at least bananas are now being produced here in Nepal. Kathmandu, we still import honey and lasun. Okay. Now, I'm just going to mention one innovation in finance that I recently came across, which is, it turns out I mentioned already, solar power has become cheaper than hydropower. But Nepal, well, you saw the lights go out, We are doing a survey nationwide, and the question was how the industries, how has your industry been affected by load shedding? So the answer was no, there's no load shedding now. We realized that this question is wrong. So we changed the question to say, how often does your electricity go out unannounced? Zap, zap. Then the Quran started. It turns out Nepalganj, average in Nepalganj, 35 times a week, with average loss of industry in material. Once you have melted the steel or melted the plastic and the light goes out, the whole block has to be just chucked out. The average loss, nationwide survey, that's what we've done, is 10 to 12% of material loss, to say nothing of labor loss, time, etc., etc. Now, in this, the new business model, I was surprised, innovation was the solar guys are now putting up solar all over. Okay. And they're not doing an engineering-led approach, they're doing a business model-led approach where they approach Solti Hotel or, this Gold Star Stews or whatever they are and said, we will install solar for you. You don't have to invest, okay? And because now there are smart meters, smart inverters, we will calculate how much solar goes into your system and how much comes from NEA. You pay us for the solar, which is 2 rupees or 1 rupee cheaper than NEA. Okay, that's your benefit. And about 8 or 10 years later, when we have recovered our costs, we hand over the whole system to you. Now, this is an amazing business model innovation, which I don't think Nepal had seen before. Because in the field of energy, we are always approaching with an engineering approach. Constructing dams, constructing this, etc., constructing roads, constructing airports where no planes fly, we do that, okay? But so this kind of model, now, the question to you is because you stand at the heart of the financial system, what are those kind of innovative financial models that will get us out of this disease? Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Gyawali, for the question. And I would also like to congratulate the Far Western University for organizing this conference and also inviting me, and let me extend my sincere thanks. Well, this is a big question, but the reality of today's Nepal's economy is we are largely dependent on remittance. So we have
त्यहाँदेखि लागि सपोर्ट सेन्टरमा कुरा गरेँ त्यो एउटालाई चाहिँ 5-7 मिनट त्यसलाई भोरे म होइन भोरे म आफै टेलिकमको अफिस यहाँ
Whoever is on, Zoom, please mute yourself, okay? Because we certainly hear your private conversation that we don't need to.
We have a narrow export base. So let me start with the fundamentals of the economic growth, whether we can grow with additional capital or more human capital, the labor force or the technology. Based on the ideas and the literature over the last 200 years, what we see that the major driver of the economic growth is the technology, the total factor productivity growth or the better institutions. Robert Solow has done the seminal work in this area and he has laid out the foundation of the modern growth models. The technological advancement is the primary driver for the economic growth, higher economic growth. And Solow's model has highlighted that in the 20th century, in the first half of the 20th century, 7/8 of the growth in the United States is accounted for the technological advancement, that is the total factor productivity growth. In the same vein, what we can see that in the last 200 years, rich countries, on average, they have grown by 10 times, and the poor countries are still in the bottom. And that is also driven by the total factor productivity growth. I would like to fully agree with your view that the technology or the total factor productivity growth are totally different things. Means technological advancement is a part of the total factor productivity growth, but not the soul of the total factor productivity growth. And of late, in the 1990s, Holland Jones, two renowned economists, what they have found that if you give the capital similar of the United States to the poor country, they can grow by 2 times. If you give that the labor force of the United States to the poor country, again they can grow by 2 times. But if you give the technology, the poor countries can also grow by 8 times. So the technology or the total factor productivity growth is the fundamental. Whether today's Nepal's economy relies largely on remittance and whether our future relies on the same, this is a big question. This is a big challenge for the economy because the drug disease problem, that is also the major challenge for economies like ours. In Netherlands and a number of other countries, they also underwent similar type of situation. Once the demographic dividend fades away, whether we'll reap the same benefit and what will happen. If you see the demographic data, 50 years ago, if you see the census result of 2028, around 52% of the population that used to reside in the hill area, today only 40%, the reverse situation. And in Tarai at that time, 37% of the population was there 50 years ago, and today it is 53%. So our development should be viewed not only from the isolation, but from the holistic perspective. The comprehensive model is needed, how the economy can be redesigned, how the development model can be redesigned and reframed so that the Nepal's development can be ushered at a faster pace. Yes, we have, I think, what I have been arguing that there are 4 Ds. They can usher the growth path of the Nepal's economy. We can shift our production possibility frontier by ushering the benefit, by buttressing the benefit of the democracy. Overnight in Nepal, nobody can issue the ordinance and reveal any kind of acts. I'm sure that because recently also debates are going on. Another advantage, we have the demography. We have the demography 15 years to 49 years. The population is 56%. So huge advantage of the demography we can have. Another is the diversity, biographic, ecological, demographic, all this diversity are also the fundamental aspect, the benefit for the Nepal's economy. And another major thing is digitization. Of late, in any shop, you can go and buy things using your cell phone. So the QR is widely used. I see the data, the 4 years ago, only 50 crore around in a month there was the QR transaction. Today it stands around 74 billion in a month. And similarly, the mobile, the transactions, internet transactions, they are increasing at a faster pace. So how that digitization, how the technological advancement, the young chaps, they are doing great job in the fintech field, and how their skills, how their knowledge inventory can be utilized in other areas in the real sector, in the tourism sector, in the energy sector, in the agriculture sector, and how the stock produced in the hillside, they can be marketed within the country. So some of you might have heard one of the institution, Sana Kisan Lagu Vidya Vidya Sanstha, small farmers, the microfinance institution. The CEO of the microfinance institution has always been arguing that the vegetables that is being imported from India in the Kalimati market, that can be immediately substituted by their small farmer producers. So we have immense potential. People are doing on their own area, in their own, with their own skill. There is the potential, and how to reap that potential in the real sector. Well, the financial sector has done the immense job. I'm not, arguing this because I'm in the central bank. But if you see the data that in the South Asia region, the credit growth in the private sector is huge compared to other countries in the region. And the highest private credit to GDP ratio is 70% in other countries. In Nepal, it is 91%. And 2 years ago, it was around 96%. So huge monetization, the large financial development, almost in each and every, the municipality, there's the branch of the commercial bank, and similarly the microfinance institutions. But how that finance, because financial intermediaries, they do only the intermediation job. Their job is not to produce the real output. So how that financial intermediation can be translated into the real output, that is the big challenge. And for that, the holistic institutional development is the prerequisite. Let me stop here.
Okay, thank you. I think you highlighted something very interesting. 20 years ago, 2 decades ago, USAID had done a study. I was minister at the time. And it showed that if Nepal exported electricity, it would earn 6 cents. Actually, it's 4 cents. It's even lower. But if Nepal used that electricity within Nepal, per unit, it would earn not 6 cents, but 86 cents. I think it's just corroborating what you just said. Okay, now I'm going to move to the audience. I'm sure you're bursting with questions. I'm going to take 3 questions, come back to the panel to have them answer it singly or whoever. 1, 2, and let me go over the 3. Here, I'll come back to you.
Thank you, Jawad sir. As we have already crossed our scheduled time for this event, and we have one more round remaining for this event. So I request all the participants to ask your questions briefly within 1.
Yeah. Please make a note of it and we'll.
Namaste, I am L.B. Gora from the HFD Multiple Campus. So I'm very happy being the part of this program. And my query to Professor Dr. Rel. So I know when I was studying in masters, there was no semester-based system. But in this time, semester-based system is necessarily there. And then in bachelor level also, in most of the universities in Nepal, like FW, MU, and other universities, there is the semester-based system. But till now, Tribhuvan University has not implemented the semester-based system. So in my locality where I am residing in Bajan, 8 different campuses are there, and then 7 are under Tribhuvan University. They are the affiliated one, and one is the constituent campus. And most of the students, they are obeying that law and all. It means that they have to admit in the annual system, and then most of the time they have to go to India or anywhere else for the sake of incoming. And then only they enter for the sake of attending in the examination. But in semester-based system, yes, I'm briefing. And in the semester-based system, there is the project-based discovery, as well as other innovation activities. So like this. So which one we have to be? There are the students are lacking in number in semester-based system. Even if we are talking about the innovation, all over the world there is a semester-based system is necessary. But till now, why some of the universities of Nepal they are implementing the annual-based system? can't we go together and then all the universities have to be, they have to implement the same provision so that all the students should be aware with the semester system and the innovative way of education?
We got it. So the next right here, somebody right here.
Yes.
Right here.
Okay, thank you, sir. Rajendra Vishchandra, my name is. Thank you all the panelists for their innovative ideas. Especially my curiosity is for Professor IIT, sir. Actually, we are talking a lot about the innovation, and still we are talking not only innovation of the James Watt, but we are talking at the age of gig economy, and we are talking about the digital economy also. But we only talk a lot about the innovation. But still, we are unable to create the innovation in the Nepal. But we are in between. Just now, it would better to say for you also. Let's see, in terms of PPP, India is the third largest economy of the world, and China is the first largest economy of the world.
Your
But
question.
why we are still unable to develop, create innovator in reality? As an observer, how do you assess the Nepalese economy?
Okay, great.
Thank you, sir.
One here and then,
One curiosity only. Last question, this is round. And we are gathering heritage. Nobody has talked about heritage. Where is lost?
okay, great. So can we, shall we take Peter and then that's the final one? Okay, Hari. Here. And there's somebody here. Okay, quick question, yeah.
Thank you. My name is Harish. Sir. My question goes to again Professor Arya sir. You talked a lot about this problem-based learning and etc. Internship also. My question to you directly is, you got 4 years of chance to implement those ideas that you already know. Based on my experience, I did not see any change in the curriculum, at least in the civil engineering. There is no problem-based learning inculcated introduced in the curriculum. And during your tenure, you did started the internship program, at least in the policy, but there was no guideline. So when we are trying to create the guideline now, we have faced the problem of who is going to take them. Because the private industry in Nepal is not ready enough to accept them as interns. So when we're preparing the guideline, we face the problem. Where are they going to go? The government is not taking them, the private industry is not ready. So in short, what prevented you from implementing those things that you already know during your tenure? And why this where the internships will go? Why it was not thought of in the beginning?
Come back to the panel. Yes, whoever wants to address it, you have the mic there, right? Start, yeah, short.
Thank you. योबाट अलिअलि नेपाली पनि घुसाउँछु जस्तो मैले सेमिस्टर र एनुअल सिस्टमको कुराहरू गर्ने मैले सेमिस्टर होस् कि एनुअल होस् मैले याद छ मैले चाहिँ नि when I visited अस्ट्रेलिया गएको थिएँ यसो कलेज हेरेको त हप्तामा 3 दिन पढाउँछु रे अनि पास कति हुन्छ भन्दा 90% हुन्छ होइन त्यसै पास गर्छु के भने काम गर्छ नि कामको नम्बर दिन्छु हामी तिम्रो जाँच लिने हो भन्नु भुल्यो त मलाई साझो खाए जस्तो गरे होइन हामी त जाँच लिने लेख्ने भन्दा अघि होइन अहिले समय आएको छ डोन्ट सिट थिंक एन्ड अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड डु द एक्सन चाहिँ हाम्रो बिहान त्यस कारणले म सबैले भनेको पनि यो कुरा पनि सबैले जोड्छु होला किनभने दुईटा क्वेसन सिमिलर आएको छ त्यसो हुनाले के भने एनुअल सिस्टम र सेमिस्टर सिस्टमले केही फरक पार्छ होइन यदि हामीले त्यसलाई इन्टर्नसिप गर्ने कुराहरू गर्यौँ भने हो च्याउले सकेन कुरा के रहेछ भने सेमिस्टर सिस्टम अझै खर्चिलो हुँदो रहेछ जहाँ धेरै लिनुपर्ने अनि विद्यार्थीहरूको काम के त भन्दाखेरि स्टुडेन्ट्स आर एंगेज अलवेज इन प्रिपरेसन अफ एक्जामिनेसन सधैँ जाँचको तयारी पढ्न पाउनु छैन जाँच मात्रै गर्ने भन्ने भएको हुनाले मैले पनि वास्तवमा एनुअल सिस्टम नै प्रिपेयर गर्न थालेँ है त्यहाँ बस्दा हेर्दाखेरि पनि त्यो चाहिँ इभेन पोखराबाट एनुअल मात्र सेमिस्टर ट्राइमेस्टर सिस्टम पनि छ सरले त भन्नु सेमिस्टर मात्र नभएर ट्राइमेस्टर वर्षमा 3टा सेमिस्टर गराइदिने 2टा हुने ठाउँमा त्यस्तो समेत गरेर पोखराले गरेको अवस्था छ। त्यो एउटा कुरा हो। त्यसो हुनाले हाम्रो पढाइमा मैले के देखाएको छु भन्दाखेरि त्यो चाहिँ घोकन्ती विद्या गर्नु भएन के एजुकेसन एडुकेयर इज सेल्फ के हामी किन घकाउनु पर्छ। मैले एउटा कुरा सानो इक्जाम्पल दिन्छु। म बुटवलमा 15-20 वर्ष अगाडि होला रिसर्च गर्ने बुटवल पुगेको थिएँ। त्यो मुस्लिम क्याप हुन्छ नि फरक टाइपको, यहाँ मुस्लिम सरहरू हुनुहुन्छ होला, मुस्लिम क्यापको टिचरले बोर्डमा चित्र लेख्न थाल्यो। यसो मैले हेरेँ मुस्लिम विद्यार्थी नै देखेँ ल्याएर अगाडि राखिदिएँ कि अनि किन चित्र लेखेको यही छ नि साँच्चै उसले लगाएको टोपी छ भोलि भनिदेऊ त्यस विषयमा भन्ने एउटा कुरा त्यो मलाई लागिरहेको छ कि एउटा कुरा के छ भने मैले काबुलीतिर गएको थिएँ। एउटा विदेशी साथी थियो, उसले 6 कक्षा पढ्ने बच्चा लिएर आएको रहेछ कि होइन। हामीले पानी तताएपछि त्यो चाहिँ स्ट्रेस बढ्छ भन्छौँ नि होइन। जस्तो पानी तताउने कुरा इक्जाम्पल एकदम चित्र लेखेर सरले यस्तो पानी भन्यो, त्यो एउटा बच्चाले के गर्यो भने त्यहाँ यस्तो पानी खाएको यही बोतल रहेछ हालेको ल्यायो यहाँ पानी राख या तता भन्यो कि अनि प्र्याक्टिकल्ली किन नजाने। र अर्को मैले कुरा भन्छु, कपिल वस्तुको एउटा स्कुलमा म भिजिट गर्ने गएको छु सर। त्यहाँ के देखेँ भने हेड मास्टरलाई सोधेँ मैले, इन्टरभ्यू थियो टिचर अहिलेको टिचर ट्रेनिङ टिचर प्रोफेसनल डेभलपमेन्ट कस्तो लाग्यो त तपाईँलाई भनेपछि ऊ हेड मास्टरको कुर्सीमा बसेको क्या राम्रो टप म त हरेक कुनै पनि ट्रेनिङ छोड्दिनँ भन्नुभयो। अनि त्यसपछि चिया खाने ठाउँमा फेरि कुराकानी गरेँ, साँच्चै राम्रो हो त के कुरा गरेँ सर अहिले त म प्रिन्सिपलको कुर्सीमा भएर त्यसो भने नि ल हेर्नुहोस् त अब मैले भनेको थिएँ नि 70% हाम्रो पढेको विद्यार्थीले म बिग्छु कि बिग्दिनँ भन्ने कुरामा शङ्का छ उसले पढाएको छ पास गरेको छ डिभिजन ल्याएको छ तर 70%ले के भन्यो भने स्टडी गर्दाखेरि म आइम नट स्योर मैले यो काममा गएर बिहान गर्न सक्छु सक्दैन यदि इन्जिनियर भए पनि त्यो गर्न सक्छु सक्दैन भनेर भनेको कुरा त्यो मैले आइराखेको छु। एउटा कुरा त्यो अफसरको कुरो पनि सरको कुरो पनि मैले के भन्दाखेरि सर पोखरामा 12 वर्षमा करिकुलम चेन्ज भयो के सर 12 वर्षमा करिकुलम चेन्ज भयो। पहिलो पटक मेरो भए चेन्ज गर्ने त मैले देख्दिनँ नि इन्जिनियर गर्ने हो तर हामी के गरेका छौँ भने त्यो इन्टर्नसिप चाहिँ राख्नै पर्छ भनेर चाहिँ नि राखेका छ। कतिपय विषयमा पढाएको छैन होला। बिएड इन एन्टरप्रेन्योरसिप डेभलपमेन्टको पहिलो कोर्स पोखराले ल्याएको छ र पोखरामा त्यो उद्योग गरेको एउटा पसलको उदाहरण गरेर आए। पढेर विद्यार्थी विदेश जानुभन्दा पढेर यही पसल खोल्यो त उसले नराम्रो भयो। अहिले त भनिन्छ नि ब्रेन ड्रेन भएछ ब्रेन गेन गरौँ न विदेशमा विद्यार्थीहरू ल्याएर होइन। त्यसमा मेरो विचारमा के हो भन्दाखेरि विद्यार्थीहरूलाई एक त के भने सेमिस्टर र एनुअल सिस्टमले केही फरक पार्ने होइन। एनुअल हुँदा हुँदै मलाई अहिले दुःख लाग्छ एउटा कक्षामा विद्यार्थी नअठाएर 250-300 विद्यार्थीलाई एउटा कक्षामा पढाएको मास्टर हो म ट्युब। अहिले हामीले चाहिँ त्यहाँ कति छन् भन्छ सर 60 जना छन् भन्छ 200 जना भए ठाउँमा 60, 50, 40 आउँदाखेरि खुसी लाग्ने बेला आएको छ। मैले के भन्न खोजेँ भने यदि त्यसो हो भने चाहिँ अब चाहिँ के भने इन्टर्नसिपको कुरा हरेक कोर्समा के न के प्र्याक्टिकल अहिले भनौँ न हामी इनोभेसन किन भन्ने हेर्नु त इनोभेसनको कुरा गर्ने अनि कहिले क्लासमा चाहिँ क्लासरुम टिचिङमा प्रयोग नगर्ने अनि भन्दाखेरि अब हामीले के गर्नुपर्छ भने यो अलिकति नलेज बेस भोकन्ती विद्या ठिक छ जानु छ म चाहिँ दिइहालेँ। त्यसमा उनीहरूले यो अब अहिले के गरौँ भने कोर्स रिभिजन गर्दाखेरि एन्टरप्रेन्योरसिपको एउटा कुनै युनिट राखौँ एउटा प्रोजेक्ट गर्ने बनाऊ प्रोजेक्ट बनाउन लगाउँ अनि उनीहरूले सेयरिङ गर्छ बोल्छ सिक्छ के हामीले मात्र पढाएर विद्यार्थी सिक्ने होइन अहिले सिकाउने टिचर धेरै भइसकेका छन्। त्यसैन युट्युब छैन हामीले बेलुका हिजोमाथि के पढाएर आयौँ यहाँ हामी सबैले पढिसकेका छौँ। त्यसो भएको हुनाले हामीभन्दा विद्यार्थी चलाक भइसकेका छ टिकटक बनाउने उही परिसिपालु छ सब उसले गर्ने भएको हुनाले उसलाई मात्र एउटा गाइडेन्स दिनुपर्छ। थ्याङ्क यू सर।
Vimal sir, I mean, we are eating into the time of the other panel. Right?
Yeah. I'll be quick. Okay, so for innovation, actually, the question asked was that like in India, we have so much population, but still the innovations are very limited. It's very perfect comment and it is true. So, but we have to accept and we have to go ahead. So for any innovation to happen, we should check what is the input and what is the output. Output certainly we know. The input is the mind. In a university, the input is of the student's mind and as well as the faculty mind. And university has to give input in terms of resources. Resources may be sophisticated instruments, infrastructure and other things. So certainly now we have gone to a level where India, we are innovating in premier institutions, but it is going to the second tier institutions also. The infrastructure is made where a second tier, third tier institution can also go for these things. There is another point, until unless we reward innovation, nobody will innovate. हमने कर लिया और दूसरा कॉपी कर लेगा, तो फायदा ही नहीं है. So that protection of intellectual property also is very important, and that we are doing. Certainly, suppose कोई बच्चा पढ़ता नहीं है या कोई बाहर का, वो कैसे पेटेंट करे या अपने प्रोटेक्ट कैसे करे, ये अभी इंडिया में डेवलप नहीं है. इसके लिए बहुत सारा एजुकेशन या बताना चाहिए, क्योंकि सर जैसे कहते हैं कि it is not only tech innovation of any type, but that type still we are missing, that we have to now improve upon. So this is my thing. With respect, I'll just tell sir, a semester system is more flexible. Certainly we have to do the duties. It lies with us, faculty, that we do checking of the copies within whatever time. So there are institutes which have adopted, like we have adopted, we do the checking within 3-4 days, whether I am a dean or director. So I have to check the copies of 150 of my students within 3-4 days. I'll show the copy. The students will write comments that you have not checked properly. I will accept that comment and then again rechecking. There is no problem, because 150 copy checking is the issue. So we will make mistakes. So why not show the students? So they tell us and we do them within 10 days, results are out. Okay, so we have to develop the system, identifying the problems, bottlenecks, and then addressing the bottlenecks via some innovation. So this is it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I think, very quick, if there's a quick response for anybody, but otherwise we will.
One liner.
Just a quick response.
Thank you again, but mine is one liner kind of thing. One heritage, हामी जे पाइरहेका छौँ त्यसलाई इनोभेसनसित कसरी जोड्ने भन्ने कुरा मलाई लाग्छ. सिस्टमले पनि हामीलाई सोझै इनोभेसन र डेभलपमेन्ट र कोर्समा ल्याइरहेको भएर मलाई लाग्छ हामी आउँछौँ होला, अरू सेसनमा छलफलमा पनि आउँछौँ होला. र मलाई लाग्छ अघि मैले जोडेको नलेज सिस्टम हामीसित यसरी विकसित भएर आयो कि पुरानो कुराहरूलाई चाहिँ हाम्रो ग्यापहरू धेरै ग्याप भयो, त्यसले विरासतमा आएको कुराहरू मैले जोड्न खोजेको. र एक अहिलेको ओपन युनिभर्सिटीमा त हामी गएका छौँ, अनि सँगसँगै स्कुल एजुकेसनलाई पनि त्यो अहिले उहाँले दिनुभएको एक्जाम्पल पनि त्यसरी नै आउँछ होला. भनेको सिकाइको माध्यम चाहिँ हाम्रो फराकिलो हुनु पर्यो. अघि दुवैजना यहाँ भनौँ एकाडेमिक्समै भएको सरहरूले भन्नुभयो विद्यार्थीहरूलाई वेटेज कहाँबाट दिने भन्ने हो, र त्यो स्कुलबाटै वेटेज चाहिँ हामीले थप्नुपर्छ. हुन त अहिले शिक्षा नीति बनाउने क्रममा काठमाडौँमा पनि त्यो विषय छलफलमा आएको छ. उनीहरूले घरमा गर्ने काम, आमा बुवासित, परिवारका सदस्यहरूसितको सिकाइलाई पनि हामी वेटेज दिनुपर्छ भनिरहेका छौँ भने चाहिँ त्यो काइन्ड अफ ओपन स्कुल पनि हो कि. भनेर ओपन युनिभर्सिटी मात्रैमा माइन्डमा रह्यो नि त. हाम्रो त पछिल्लो 50 वर्षको युनिभर्सिटी एजुकेसनमा एउटा नयाँ ट्रेड हो. यहाँ म्याम आउनु भएको छ, रजिस्ट्रार सर हुनुहुन्छ, अन्त पनि हामी सबै एकाडेमिक्समा भएकाहरूले क्लास लिइरहेका पढाइरहेका छौँ. तर त्यो ओपन एक्टिभिटीलाई चाहिँ पार्ट अफ लर्निङ, अनि अब अहिले यति मिडियाले डिजिटाइज भएर इन्फर्मेसनहरू सिकिरहेका छन्. इन्ट्रेस्टको कुरा, जसको इन्ट्रेस्ट जेमा हो त्यो बच्चा त्यो कुरा सिकिरहेको छ. त्यस कारण त्यसलाई पनि हामीले जोड दिनुपर्छ फर्मलमा. थ्याङ्क यू.
Okay, thank you. I think we have come to the.
quickly. म अलिक राजनीतिक क्षेत्र भएकोले अलिक यस्तै सोभन्टीलाई कसरी चाहिँ अलि विस्तार गर्न सकिन्छ त्यो कोणबाट पनि हेर्ने गर्छु. इनोभेसनकै कुरा गर्दै गर्दाखेरि फेरि कहिलेकाहीँ इनोभेटिभ प्रडक्ट तपाईँको जियो पोलिटिक्समा ठुलो ठुलो चाहिँ महत्त्व राखिरहेको हुन्छ. तपाईँको ताइवानिज चिपको कुरा गर्ने हो भने चाहिँ ताइवानको जियो पोलिटिक्समा त्यसको ठुलो भूमिका छ. तपाईँ जाभा कफीको कुरा गर्ने हो भने त्यसको चाहिँ त्यो एउटा जियो पोलिटिकल इम्पोर्टेन्सको हुन्छ. इभन म्याकडोनाल्डको कुरा, त्यसले चाहिँ सोसाइटीलाई कसरी सेपिङ गर्नु खोजिरहेको छ र त्यसको जियो पोलिटिक्समा के महत्त्व. मैले भन्नु खोजेको कुरा के हो भने हामीसँग एउटा प्रडक्ट, हामी कन्सर्टेड इफर्टबाट एउटा इनोभेटिभ प्रडक्ट ल्याउन सक्यौँ भने हाम्रो त्यो इमेज भन्छ, हाम्रो
इकोनोमिक सोसाइटीको अथवा हाम्रो सोसाइटीको त्यो इमेज हुन्छ, त्यसको अराउन्डमा हाम्रो इमेज हुन्छ। त्यस कारण त्यसको अब जियो पोलिटिक्सकल इम्पोर्टेन्स हुनुहुन्छ, त्यसले हाम्रो सोभरेन्टीलाई पनि अलिकति बलियो बनाउँछ, किनभने यसका विभिन्न पक्षहरू छन्। यो पक्षलाई हामी चाहिँ अलिक गरिरहेर सुदूरपश्चिममा पनि हामी यस्तो किसिमको एउटा सिग्नेचर प्रडक्ट हामी चाहिँ निकाल्न सक्छौँ इनोभेटिभ आइडियाबाट। त्यसको लागि गभर्मेन्ट चाहेला, त्यसपछि सोसाइटी त्यो अलिकति त्यसमा अलिक डिस्कसनको आवश्यकता छ। हाम्रो सिग्नेचर प्रडक्ट हुनु पर्यो, हाम्रो एक्सपोर्टलाई त मात्रै हामी केही गर्न सक्छौँ, अन्यथा गफ मात्रै हुन्छ। त्यो एउटा महत्त्वपूर्ण कुरा। अर्को कुरा के हो भनेपछि हामी लेबर फोर्स, हामीसँग त लेबर फोर्स मात्रै हो, लेबर साथी हाम्रो एउटा स्टुडेन्टको सरले भनिसक्नुभयो, तर यो लेबर पनि अनस्किल्ड लेबर छ क्या। त्यो अनस्किल्ड लेबरको के छ भनेपछि अहिलेको टेक्नोलोजीको डेभलपमेन्ट, खास गरेर रोबोटिक इन्टेलिजेन्सले गर्दाखेरि 30% अफ द जब्स आर बिङ कन्फिस्केटेड बाई रोबोटिक इन्टेलिजेन्स इन only 5 years। भनेपछि त्यसपछि त हाम्रा मान्छेहरू त्यहाँ चाहिँ अनस्किल्ड मान्छेहरू त यहीँ होला नि। त्यसलाई इनोभेटिभ एउटा ग्राउन्ड हामीले तयार गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने मलाई लाग्छ। अनि युनिभर्सिटीको कुरा पनि आएछ, रोडले चाहिँ यसमा डिल गर्नुभयो। युनिभर्सिटीबाट बच्चा पढेर गएर 6 महिना 1 वर्ष घरमा बसेर म करियर के सुरु गरौँ भन्छ भने त्यो युनिभर्सिटीको कामै छैन नि। कलेजबाट बच्चा घर जान्छ भने कलेजको कामै छैन, कलेजबाट सिधै मान्छे चाहिँ युवा चाहिँ काममा जाओस् के। त्यस्तो किसिमको त्यो प्रक्रिया अथवा त्यस्तो किसिमको वातावरण चाहिँ हामीले बनाउन सक्नुपर्छ। र त्यसपछि यो युनिभर्सिटी धेरै माथि उठाउनु भएको छ, यो टिमले धेरै माथि उठाउनु भयो। यसका लागि पनि चाहिँ हाम्रो बिजी सर लगायत रजिस्ट्रार सर सबै यससँग सम्बन्धित सबैलाई धन्यवाद पनि दिन चाहन्छु। र खास गरी हाम्रो पूर्व मन्त्रीज्यूलाई पनि यो कार्यक्रमको लागि
मैले पनि सुदूरपश्चिमाञ्चल विश्वविद्यालयलाई धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु र मैले दुईटा कुरा राख्न चाहन्छु अन्तमा। एउटा, हामीले हाम्रो सोसाइटी अथवा हाम्रो इकोनोमीलाई माथि लाने हो, हायर ग्रोथ पाथमा लाने हो भने अलिकति कुराहरू राखे। हामी इकोनोमिक्समा लर्डाइट्स फ्यालासी भनेर भन्छौँ होइन। इन्डस्ट्रियल रेभोल्युसन पछि टेक्सटाइल कम्पनीमा काम गर्ने मजदुरहरूले बेलायतमा चाहिँ आन्दोलन गरे, मसिनहरू भाँचे। त्यसपछि 14 जना लडाइतहरूलाई चाहिँ उनीहरूले झुन्ड्याएर पनि इन्डस्ट्रियल रेभोल्युसन सफल गरेका थिए। त्यसैले डिस्ट्रक्टिभ चाहिँ जुन सोच छ त्योबाट समाजलाई माथि उठाउनु पर्ने। दोस्रो, निकिता क्रुश्चेभले एकपटक चाहिँ के भन्नुभयो त भन्दाखेरि पोलिटिसियन्स आर सेम एभ्रिवेयर, दे प्रमिस टु बिल्ड ब्रिजेस वेयर देयर आर नो रिभर्स होइन। नदी नभएका ठाउँमा पनि पुल बनाइदिन्छु भनेर राजनीतिज्ञहरूले चाहिँ प्रमिस गरिदिन्छन्। त्यसैले समाजलाई फल्स प्रमिसबाट माथि लानुपर्छ सबैले। आफ्नो ठाउँमा हामी जान्छौँ र त्यस्तो कुरो इकोनोमिक्सको कन्टेक्स्टबाट यसलाई म टुङ्ग्याउँछु कि हामीले 3टा कुरा, एउटा सोसाइटीमा कसरी एलोकेटिभ इफिसियन्सी बढाउने भन्ने कुरा छ। मैले त्यो पुलको कुरो किन निकिता क्रुश्चेभको कुरो जोड्या हो त भनेर भन्दाखेरि हामी मार्जिनल बेनिफिट बराबर मार्जिनल कस्ट नहुने ठाउँमा राज्यले पनि लगानी गर्नु हुँदैन, त्यो कुरा सोच्नुपर्छ। तर त्यो गर्ने भन्दै दुईटा कुरा, एउटा सोसाइटीको वेलफेयर केले म्याक्सिमाइज गर्न सकिन्छ त्यो राज्यले हेर्ने हो। त्यसका लागि डिस्ट्रिब्युटिभ इफिसियन्सी इज द मस्ट। हाम्रो कन्टेक्स्टमा, नेपालको कन्टेक्स्टमा 3टा प्रदेशहरू पछाडि परेका छन्। हामीले ह्युमन डेभलपमेन्ट इन्डिकेटर्सबाट हेर्दाखेरि पनि, पोभर्टीको इन्डेक्सबाट हेर्दाखेरि पनि, र त्यो पछाडि परेका मध्य प्रदेश, कर्णाली प्रदेश र सुदूरपश्चिम प्रदेशका लागि रिसोर्सको अप्टिमल र अलिकति जस्टिफाएबल अलोकेसन कसरी गराउनुपर्छ त्यसका लागि पनि हाम्रो सबै प्रयास हुनुपर्ने हुन्छ। विथ दिस, थ्याङ्क यू सो मच।
Thank you, Thank you, sir. I have one question. Actually, mic is on my hand and I'm just taking it. अब मेरो पहिलो प्रश्नको पहिलो भाग चाहिँ यतातिर सम्बन्धित भावनाले म नेपालीमै यो राख्छु। हामी हाम्रा विद्यार्थीहरूलाई हाम्रो देशमा, नेपालको कुरा गर्दैछु म, हाम्रो देशमा आजभन्दा करिब 3000 वर्ष अगाडि गोपाल वंशीहरूले शासन गरेको भन्ने इतिहास पढ्न सक्छौँ। भन्नाले हाम्रो फर्मल गभर्नेन्स हाम्रो देशमा सुरु भएको 3000 वर्ष भयो। If we analyze the development history of developed countries across the globe, हामी के पाउँछौँ भने either they exist or become independent within 50 to 350 years. 50 देखि 300 वर्षसम्म अवधिमा या त तिनीहरू विकसित भए या स्वतन्त्र भए विश्वका विकसित देशहरू। तर हामी 3000 वर्षदेखि हाम्रो देश अस्तित्वमा छ, तर हामी still we are under the category of developing country. Regarding this country, अब मेरो प्रश्न भन्दा पनि यहाँ प्रश्नको उत्तर आउनु त टाइम लाग्ने हो, त्यो टाइम हामीसँग छैन। मैले मात्र यो अत्यन्त भद्र सभामा के राख्न खोजेँ भने हामीसँग सबै क्षेत्रका विज्ञ व्यक्तित्वहरू यहाँ हुनुहुन्छ। हामी अझ कति हजार वर्षसम्म यस्तै एउटा गरिब नै हो, अब हामी गरिब भन्न नचाहेर विकसित के अरे विकासोन्मुख भन्छौँ, विकासोन्मुख राष्ट्र भएर बसिराख्ने हो। आफ्नो क्षेत्रबाट हामीले हामीलाई विकसित राष्ट्रको श्रेणीमा पुर्याउनका निमित्त सोचेर कन्ट्रिब्युट गर्ने बेला भएको छ कि छैन। And my second part of my question is related to respected Professor V.C. Srivastava. India has launched a concept, Viksit Bharat 2047, last year, on the auspicious occasion of its 100th Independence Day, and acted upon this concept from last year. Please, sir, could you share what is the idea or clue or instrument you have to launch this concept within a very short period of, I think, 23 years. 23 years, how India is going to develop India to categorize it as a developed country. So that our politicians, leaders, academicians, and other personnel also develop the similar type of concept, as we are also going to celebrate our 100th Democracy Day. We do not have Independence Day, but we have the concept of Democracy Day. So our 100th Democracy Day is going to become on 2107 7. So we have almost 26 years to celebrate our 100th Democracy Day. So could you please, sir, share your ideas within 1 minute?
I think we are going to take this up in tea time. Okay? Because I think we have